Live.
Welcome to Friday at 420. My name is Mike Neighbors, your host for the next 40 minutes as we, I know it's not even close to Friday at 420. It's Tuesday morning at 10:30. What the hell is that? But it is Friday at 420 if you're listening to us on the radio right now. Thank you so much. And guess what? It's almost the weekend. We are going to entertain you with a fantastic show. We've got a great special guest comic joining us. But first, as usual, on Friday at 420, let's introduce the panel du jour. Please say hello to my good friend wearing the wide brim cap, Mr. Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
Excellent. Did you have a great weekend?
Yeah, it was good. We had a good weekend.
Yeah. What'd you do? Did you light it up, man? Did you get all bent out of shape?
Yeah, we had a good weekend at the club.
Nice.
Yeah. We had the hilarious Casey Corbin there all weekend. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Was
Casey
fun.
was our guest last week on Friday at 420.
Yeah. It was a good
Cool,
show.
dude.
Yeah, Manolis was there as usual.
Well, then I don't have to ask Manolis how his weekend was. You just explained it. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Manolis Zontanos.
Tikanis, Mike, I miss you.
Take a knee. You know what? You mean the interpersonal connection.
Yeah.
The face-to-face. Hugging. You and I hug. I don't hug Patrick, but I hug you.
We hug a lot.
Yeah. I don't hug Patrick. I just feel, I don't know.
I'm going, you know what I did last night? I'm going a little crazy. I actually bought a WKRP t-shirt and I wasn't drunk on the internet.
Wow.
I know, right?
You're growing as a human. I just, you know what? The reason that I hug you, Manolis, and not Patrick is that Patrick gets hugs at home, but you don't. So I feel bad.
I am very low. I'm like, I was sitting last night on my couch. I literally I think I need love in my life. I have no, that's like, if I could have anything, I thought if I could have anything right now, it'd sadly be love. That's all I'd want.
When you're sober buying WKRP t-shirts, that's when you know you need love in your life.
Thank you. That's going to be my next t-shirt.
Our special guest. He's not only our special guest, he'll be the special guest at Levity this weekend. Friday and Saturday night, you can see the very hilarious Mr. Jeff Leeson. How you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing awesome. Great to have you on the show. We haven't had a chance to have you on the show yet, and we're really appreciative of you doing this.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Jeff, where is it that you live? Where are you located right now?
London, Ontario.
Oh, wow. In the Forest City.
In the Forest City. Yeah.
Really?
Not everyone knows that, and it's a stupid name, but yes, that is where I am.
I'm a font of incredibly useless knowledge, my friend. Are you born and raised in London?
Yeah. Born and raised here. Grew up here, and lived in Toronto for a while, and then earlier this year I was in LA doing some work when everything happened, so had to come back home.
Everybody's leaving Toronto now. That's the word on the street. Like it's an exodus. People moving out of Toronto, trying to get out of Toronto because the pandemic and then working from home has changed all their lives. So you're probably going to have more people coming to the Forest City.
Well, I hope not, but we'll see.
All right, what do you say we play our game, boys? Enough chit-chat, enough water cooler talk. Let's get into it. Number 6, I've got the 12 random topics in these official envelopes, and Jeff Leeson, our special guest, gets the very first topic on this Friday at 420 on Funny 820. Wow. I don't know if you guys know this, but big glasses. Manolis wears weird glasses, but big eyeglasses, they're back in fashion. There was a time in the 70s when big eyeglasses were all the rage, and now they're back, and they really shouldn't be. But what I want to know from you folks is give me an old-fashioned statement that you wish would come back, something that you think back, whether it's a decade that you lived in or a decade before. What's something that you'd really like to see come back into fashion, Jeff?
You know the see, you know that saying? I really like that. Yeah, I really like that. I don't know what era that was from, but I really enjoy ending a sentence with
Especially in our industry, you want someone to come up to you and go, I'm gonna make you a star, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see that come back.
Awesome. Not really a fashion item, but something that could come back into vogue. I like that idea.
Thank you.
Do you use that? Do you use that in regular life, Jeff?
No, but
No.
I'm gonna start. I wanna. If it's gonna come back, somebody's got to be the leader. You know.
Gotta take it on, man. I think it starts right here, right now. See? Yeah. See? Manolis. Some old-fashioned statement you wish would come back.
Do you remember? Does it has to be verbal or it can be anything?
No, I was actually looking for actual fashion, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
Something.
you were looking for fashion? I thought you were looking for a statement.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh, the big eyeglasses was my lead-in, right? Big eyeglasses have come back into fashion.
That's
I
what I
looking
didn't
for-
understand. I'm
You know
sorry.
what? Don't worry. It's still early.
It's
still
early,
early.
Mike. It's early, and I'm trying to get to the golf course here. So
I like.
Manolis, give me something you wish would come back.
I like when I forgot what grade I was in, but I thought there was a fad with the yo-yos, but there was like a Coca-Cola yo-yo, a Sprite yo-yo, a 7-Up yo-yo. Like it was like everybody had to have the collection of yo-yos,
Yeah.
right? And everybody was using these yo-yos, and they're all trying to be experts on yo-yos. That like even bullies were using the yo-yo. So like I remember that was a time where like no one was bothering me or trying to hurt me because people are too busy like trying to be like these yo-yo masters.
Too busy trying to walk the dog, man.
Yeah, I used to, and I there's these kids back in my day. I remember like everybody had these winter jackets, but they had the zippers, and you could take the sleeves off, and that was the coolest thing in the world. And I begged my dad. I begged him to buy me one of these cool jackets, and my dad's like, "No, what stupid jacket? You be too cold. I had to wear the parka with the long green parka with the hood with the fur on it. Like,
Oh yeah.
I look like a green crayon. And then if I ever fell, like I would just be on my back like a turtle and I couldn't get up. It was horrible. And then kids would be hitting me with yo-yos. You know, it's horrible.
You brought that full circle. I appreciate that. You went from the yo-yos to the. First of all, let me say this: yo-yos they would come back, right? Every few years, suddenly the yo-yo would be all the rage. Everybody would buy a yo-yo. Everybody would learn around the world and walking the dog, and then you'd lose the yo-yo and it'd be over. And then 5 years later, the yo-yo would come back. So I totally lived through several yo-yo crazes. I'm with you on that. The jacket that you removed the sleeves, I was not allowed to get one because my mom was convinced I would lose the sleeves. I would like take the sleeves off somewhere, lose them, and then it'd be a sleeveless jacket.
If you did, you still had the vest. You're good.
Well, the vest was the cool part. You didn't want the sleeves anyway.
No one wanted. Yeah, thank you.
Did you boys go through yo-yo at all? Was there yo-yo time in your life, Patrick?
I did for sure, yeah.
Did you?
Because when I
How
was
many
in,
tricks could you do?
I could do quite a few. When I was a kid, there's like the newer version of yo-yos. I think they were called Spitfires, and they were the ones that made that weird noise when you, yeah. And they were like these red ones. Like everyone had the same one, and if you didn't, you were a loser. I remember a friend of mine stole mine, and I didn't know that because I lost mine, and then all of a sudden he had one, but it couldn't have been mine because he had put a piece of tape on his, so mine didn't have tape on it. And then I found out, yeah, and then later I found out that he stole mine. So, yeah, I
Mine
totally,
has tape on it. It's not yours.
yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Wow.
He's like, it could have been me. See, I had tape on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff, do you have a yo-yo in your life?
yeah, what I used to do with them is I used to find those kids. You know those kids that used to wear those big green jackets with the fur, and I used to go up and whip them when they'd fall down. That's how I used my. That's how
I knew I
used my
remembered you.
Pepsi yo-yo.
The sad part is Manolis was 48 at the time. But anyway, beat up.
Yeah, it was still fun though. It was still fun.
Patrick, give me a fashion statement you wish would come back.
This isn't a fashion statement, but kind of playing off what Jeff just said, I think parents hitting their kids is going to come back.
Oh, no.
It's about time.
I think it's going to. It's getting out of control, Mike. The entitlement is insane. It's also a bit of jealousy, though. I'm like, these kids have like that are becoming famous on YouTube and stuff, like they should. I was never allowed to be on the computer long enough to gain followers on YouTube, but yeah. It's also weird to me to think like back then people used to like adults would get together and they all just secretly knew they were hitting their kids at home. It's weird to me.
I was, yeah, you know what? I got whacked a couple of times. That was, yes,
With
fair
yo-yos?
game. I did. I threw all of my toys. I was a little kid. I threw all of my toys up onto the garage roof. And I don't know why. I don't know what inspired me, but every single toy I had in the yard, I threw it up on the garage roof. And I remember getting my my ass tanned for that one. Yeah, so it happened. I never hit my kids. So
Manolis is still
by the time I was raising kids, it was like, you can't do that.
My dad hit me.
Never threw all their toys on the
That's
roof.
a strange punishment for a child, making him go out and tan his ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of childhood was this, Mike?
They cover the whole body and just leave the ass there in the sun.
So he's embarrassed at the showers.
That's it. No SPF on the butt cheeks. You're going to pay for this, son.
A lot of lotion.
All right. You know what? That topic is too close to the other topic, so I'm gonna revert to a secondary topic. Here we go. Manolis, your topic on this Friday at 4:20 with our special guest Jeff Leeson, headlining this Friday, Saturday at Levity Comedy Club right here in Hamilton. Manolis, other than Earth, do you have a favorite planet? Other than Earth, do you have a favorite planet?
Yeah. I'm gonna say, okay, I think I like all the planets. Not like I can name them all.
Yeah, let's start there. Name all of them.
That would be the starting point with Manolis. Can you name the planets?
There's Jupiter.
Yeah,
right?
sure. Yeah, the biggest one.
There's Mars.
Yeah.
And there's the moon. Is it moon or is it the moon or moon?
The moon's not a planet.
Moon's not a planet, bro.
But isn't it? We went there. Why would we go there if it's not there?
It's,
Right?
No, it's there. It's there. It's just a different class.
Yeah.
It's a moon.
Okay. I would like. What's the one I want to go? Like, listen, I don't even believe any of these places are there until I go there. I don't believe it. I don't even believe. You know, like Oklahoma. I don't even believe that's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been there. You know. Until I go there, it's not real. Until I go to the moon's not even, to me, it's just a painting. But I will say I want to go to what's the one with the ring around it?
Saturn.
I want to go to Saturn.
Okay, Saturn. Let's make Saturn your favorite.
It is my favorite.
We've got to stop. We got to stop torturing you.
Anytime that I like anything with a ring around it. I don't know what that's going bad.
Put a ring on it, buddy. Patrick Coppolino.
Yes.
Favorite planet?
Well, I gotta say, I'm shocked Manolis didn't say Uranus. I thought for sure
that was the
coming.
comedy opening that I gave.
Wait, that's a real thing?
Yeah, you've never heard of Uranus?
I thought you said Uranus.
Yeah, you can pronounce it Uranus.
Yeah, that's the way you pronounce it.
I thought that was the joke that it was.
You thought it was just a made-up planet that people joked about?
Yeah. You know why, Patrick? Because I haven't been there. Until I go,
That's fair.
That's right. If you go to Uranus, you won't see a ring around it, just so you know.
Okay, thanks.
Patrick, you got a fave? Stick with Uranus.
Neptune's the biggest one, right?
Jupiter.
Jupiter is? Which one's Neptune then?
Oh, maybe. Oh, wow. Maybe we got a fight here.
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I thought Jupiter was the biggest planet.
Patrick almost failed school because of the moon. I know it's not a planet. Now I know it's not a planet.
Jeff Leeson's going to break the tie here. Jupiter or Neptune? Which is the biggest planet, Jeff Leeson?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess Jupiter.
Yeah, probably.
And that's based on your confidence in the way you said that, Mike.
Yeah.
And also in your useless fact knowledge. I'd put money on Jupiter.
I appreciate that. What is your favorite planet, Jeff, if you have one?
Well, I don't.
Okay.
Let me first of all say that. I've never thought about this before. But in the few moments I have had to think about this, I think based on the fact that it's named after a chocolate bar, or maybe the other way around, I would say Mars is my favorite.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
The chocolate bar theory. I like that.
Yes.
Just for safety's sake, Jupiter is in fact the largest.
Yes.
Neptune was
I knew it.
a nice guess, but it's like fourth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike,
Manolis taught me everything I know about space.
Saturn actually is the second largest planet. Saturn.
which one's the closest to the black hole?
Uranus.
That's the one I want to go to then. I want to go away.
All right, let's move away from science as a topic with three comedians. Let's go with something we all know a lot about. Here we go. This topic for you, Patrick Coppolino. Tell me a little bit something about the worst place you have ever lived. Tell me a little something about the worst place you have ever lived.
Neptune.
Because it was such a tiny place.
I've always lived in Hamilton, except for.
I was even considering the idea of like even the actual an apartment, a hovel, a shed, someplace you've lived.
Well, I lived the last apartment I had before this place was it was near Gage Park, but it was like the top floor of like a house that they rented each floor to people.
Oh, yeah.
And because it was on the top, it was like an old Victorian house. So the ceilings were like this. So like parts of my house you had to like crouch under. And of course my bathroom was right in like one of like the steepest points.
So the head tilt going while you pee.
Yeah. So there was an old bathtub. I've talked about this before. There's an old bathtub in there that I couldn't you couldn't have a shower in it because you can't stand in the bathroom. So that was the worst because I had to have baths, and so that didn't happen very often.
That's a beautiful explanation for why it was a terrible place. Because I had to have baths. You sound like a 9-year-old boy.
It's work.
Yeah. Manolis Zontanos, worst place you've ever lived.
A couple. I remember a hostel I was in one time on the road, and somewhere in London, England. And it was the tiniest room I've ever been in, and they had so you had to share a bathroom, so I didn't want to bother with the bathroom, and we had a sink that was right by my head, like this little tiny sink, so I would just use that every time I needed to pee. So I kind of hated it, but then I was kind of like I kind of liked it at the same time. It was very useful. So it's like just stood up and then went right back to bed. Once you get over the smell, you're like really good, you know. I was like at another hostel. That there was one of my roommates had I guess he was in the middle of surgery, and for some reason he was like trying to get better at a hostel. It didn't make any sense. And he had he had a catheter in his can I say penis?
Urethra.
Okay. Yeah. And he was using that to pee in the room. Every once in a while I'd see this liquid go down to the pee bag, and I'm like, okay, this is my life right now. This is where I am. I'm like, dude, I can get you a sink. Just what are you doing?
Set him up with the sink. Absolutely. Jeff Leeson, give me a taste of the worst place you've ever had to live.
Well, this is more of what I lived on. There was a brief time where I moved out of living with a girlfriend and lived with a buddy on a wicker couch for a brief time. Yeah, which doesn't sound that bad, but I am a big man, and wicker is not built for big people. So it was a constant worry as to whether or not I was going to wake up underneath the couch.
I think that's one of the points at Big Man School, isn't it? Avoid wicker.
Yeah, it's actually day one. It's the first. Once you realize you are a big man, that's what they tell you immediately. Avoid all wicker at all costs.
Avoid the wicker.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, boys. Whose turn is it to Plinko here? I got topic number 1. Where am I? Who fielded that one? First.
Me, I think.
Patrick went first. This one. Jeff, I'm going to go with you on this one.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Leeson, our guest on Friday at 4:20. Have you ever had sex in a public place?
Oh, no, no,
No.
I have not. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, that's all right. Hey,
I
listen,
I wish that I had to give some answer here, but sadly, no. I'm gonna have to now. You know what? Later today, I'll get back to you.
did you ever have sex on the wicker couch?
Oh no, no. I didn't do anything on that but sleep. I once I got up, I got the hell away from that wicker couch. I can't be risking it.
Manolis, have you ever had sex in a public place?
Yes.
Okay.
I
knew, and was there other people?
well, there was no, it was me and a girl. There was another person. It wasn't just by myself. But I was I remember being I was at Lollapalooza. So it was the 90s, so it's okay. It was a different time. But I tell you, anytime a girl's willing to have sex with you in general, it's just a great day. And then you're outside, you're like, I should marry this woman. You know what I mean? Like, I was down this hill, and we found this hill, and we're down, and I was gonna BJ, all right? And when that's happening, you're not sometimes looking at her work, and my eyes are just wandering around, and I noticed there was 3 guys on the top of the hill having beers watching this, and I'm like kind of like I'm like, go away, like doing this, go away, and they wouldn't wave them off. Thank God this is the 90s, no phones and anything, right? But they wouldn't go away. They stood there, drank beers casually like they were watching porn or something, and I couldn't stop her, because if I did, she would want to stop. So I was like, had to accept that these 3 dudes were watching us do this, and I'm like, now I can't do it unless I have 3 guys watching me. It's the worst part. And then
hey, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I don't
put the camera down.
I'm not part of this.
I had a girlfriend. She wanted to have sex in the park, and I said yes. And that was nothing bad happened, but we're doing a doggy style. And the same thing, because of this thing in the 90s, I was doing my thing, and all I did was I was just constantly looking around, because I'm waiting for someone. Like, I thought the same 3 guys were just going to sit down and like, hey, been a
crowd. Oh, listen, before we get to Patrick, there's a couple of things I got to unpack on this one, Manolis. So first and foremost, now, if you were a dude at Lollapalooza having beers with a couple other dudes, and you guys witnessed what those guys were witnessing, you would stay and watch.
Yeah, of course I would stay. Of course. I probably would have got closer.
Now, when you finished, was there applause?
I think that at that point they just it's over. They left. They didn't care.
Oh, they just walked away.
It
was sort of anticlimactic for them.
This chick was crazy. I could tell you some stories after. That doesn't involve me.
Yeah, the ones you told already weren't crazy enough. And finally, Lollapalooza holds great memories for you then.
Oh, of course it does. Yes, it's blowjob palooza. That's what it is. I go every year. I get a blowjob.
Patrick Coppolino, I should have gone to you before Manolis on this question.
Yeah, I was hoping you would.
Say at this point. Have you ever had sex in a public place, Patrick?
Well, I'll start with I have been to Lollapalooza, and none of that happened to me. But
not even watching.
No, I didn't even get to watch anything. But yes, I have many a times.
Many a time.
In many a places.
Wow. And is it usually dark?
Yeah, for the most part.
You're not going full out.
No, not during the
middle of
day,
the afternoon.
Mike. No, those deviant behaviors come out at night, Mike. When the sun goes down, anything goes.
Yeah. It gets dark. So public park, I'm guessing?
Yeah, and bars and train tracks.
Anywhere.
Wherever.
Anywhere you can make that happen, brother?
If there's room.
You're listening to Friday at 420 on Funny 820. Our special guest, Jeff Leeson. He's going to be at the Levity Comedy Club this weekend. Jeff, how do you describe your comedy? What kind of a stand-up comic are you?
Very improvisational.
Okay.
And, it's a very very much in the moment, and I like to create a very unique and personal experience for each audience, so that when they come, they can really leave feeling like that show was for us. You know, that was our show.
That's awesome. And do you a lot of crowd work, a lot of kibitzing with the crowd, and
Yeah, a lot of interaction with the crowd, and it's not like it's very different than like your traditional crowd work where it's like mocking them or making fun of them. It's really about making them a part of the show, and like I said, really making them feel like it's their show and they'll never see it again.
that's awesome. So
They never
we're in
will.
for a good night.
What's that?
I said we're in for a good night.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and the club is awesome, and it's one of my favorites to play in the country, and the crowds are always awesome. So very excited to be back.
Excellent.
Thanks, man.
This Friday, Saturday at Levity Comedy Club. You can get your tickets at levitycomedyclub.com. Good idea to get tickets ahead of time because there is limited seating because of that damn pandemic.
Yep. And I would like to add, actually, like it truly is a really unique show when Jeff's there. Like it's like 100% crowd work. It's insane. It'll like Friday's show will be completely different from Saturday's. It's crazy.
So you could go twice and get
Yeah,
two
honestly,
shows.
he's one of the few comics you can literally go back to back and it'll be a different show.
That's
Unless
awesome.
he talks to you both nights.
Yeah.
It's a different show literally every time.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, we look forward to it this Friday and Saturday night. Manolis, this one for you. What is the best seafood? Of all the food that comes from the sea, what is your favorite seafood?
What's calamari? Is that seafood?
Yeah. That's like octopus or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like battered or something like that.
Yeah, it
it's,
is.
it's like it's orgasmic. I love that. Anything in Greece is just amazing though. Like if you get in, I know I talk about Greece too much, but those are like when you go to Greece, you get a lot of seafood for sure. But just straight up an octopus on its own, it's pretty rad too. I like it. I love it.
Is it not rubbery? Does it not feel rubbery? I like calamari feels even like I like the batter obviously, but it feels it's got a rubbery texture.
Yeah, it does. It does feel rubbery, but like for considering all the other things I put in my mouth, it's completely fine.
Well, I didn't consider that when I was eating it, but okay, now that you've put it that way. Patrick Coppolino, your favorite food that comes from the sea?
I'm actually in the middle of a debate on the internet right now about having these at the club, but I love oysters.
Oh, right. I did see that.
Yeah.
Are people allergic to those? Sometimes?
You can be, I guess. Yeah. Right?
Well, aren't
Does that count
oysters
as
the one that
shellfish?
give you a higher sex drive?
Yeah.
Isn't that oysters? Yeah.
Yeah. Then you go to public.
Would
Don't
it
eat
be
them.
hard? Would it be hard to set that up at the club? Is that why there's a debate? I mean, is it an expensive thing to get in? You got to eat them, right? You can't leave them for too long.
Well, yeah, they got to be fresh, but we're only open 3 nights a week, so we would get them like on Friday and sell them Friday, Saturday, and that's it. We wouldn't do them Wednesdays, but so it wouldn't be a difficult thing to do. It's just some people were debating, like some people just don't like them at all, and some people were saying that the smell would turn them off, but I don't think fresh oysters have a scent that I can think of. It's not like a fishy, especially it's not being cooked either, so I don't think it's a problem. But
what is this dirty
so
aquarium?
we're like torn. There's like tons of people that are like, yes, I love oysters, I would totally get them, and then other people are like, I'm not gonna come there if you serve them. So
Really?
yeah, some people are like, I probably wouldn't go back if you did. So
Patrick,
yeah.
Wow. I can't believe people would not go someplace because oysters were served to other people at that place.
I know.
That sounds crazy. But that's, you know what that is? That's less about them actually following through on that and more about people on the internet and the way they'll argue anything.
Yeah.
And they take everything to the extreme. I would rather kill myself than have an oyster. Ah!
Yeah.
Overreaction.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff Leeson? Favorite food that comes from the sea?
Well, first of all, I'm in a heavy debate right now online with some guy from a comedy club over oysters. I'm pretty firm on the fact I will not go if I even see them on the menu. But regardless of that, that's just a personal feeling.
Sure.
My favorite is bacon wrapped scallops. That's my favorite.
Oh, those are awesome too.
Yeah.
Bacon wrapped. I'd eat bacon wrapped anything, to be honest. But yeah, bacon wrapped scallops are.
I think Patrick knows what he's up to now, man. He's got to get bacon wrapped oysters, and then you got Jeff's vote.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go to our chat room after this and leave that as an idea.
That's awesome. You're listening to Friday 420 with Jeff Leeson. Number 7 is the topic du jour. Number 7 on the Plinko board. And, this one seems very timely considering we just wrapped up Labor Day weekend. So, gentlemen, here we go. A lot of people probably feeling the same kind of emotions on the week after Labor Day, but it was the end of an amazing summer, a crazy summer, a summer like we've never had before because of all of the things going on. It also was one of the hottest summers I can ever remember. I mean, the number of over 30-degree days was insane. So now this thing comes to an end. Do you look back and relish what was still a pretty good summer for you, or are you depressed that it's over, or are you happy to move on from it and want to just get into winter?
Who are you
Patrick?
asking? Oh. No, I agree with you. This is like the best summer I've had in years, and it's like we were all in school and we got the summer off. Nobody had to work. It was beautiful outside. Yeah, we're still getting paid. I did more outside this summer than I have in probably the last 10 years. Went camping a few times. Yeah, it was awesome. This is easily the best summer I've had in a long time. I'm getting sad. Like it's cold now, and I'm sad.
So you're a little sad about it then.
Yeah.
This horrible summer where we all have to stay apart from each other and mask up.
It's like, but why did it?
Like, wow.
It's cold, and we're back to work. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I gotta earn my money now.
Manoli, what about you? Best summer ever or worst?
It's the best. Because because of this COVID thing, it made everybody think outside of the box because we have to, I don't know if you know this, like I've been tanning all summer, but one of the things with COVID, people that seem to be getting it are low in vitamin D. Do you know that?
I know that.
Now you know that. That's a real fact. Look that up. That's real, okay? Not like the space stuff. So what I've done is when I tan, instead of because we can only get vitamin D through our skin, so I invented this clamp that you put on your butt cheeks and it spreads them just ever so gently open, and so the sun goes directly into your butthole, and you're getting sun right directly inside of you, and your vitamin D levels go right through the roof. And now that it's winter, I'm going to work on patenting that, and then hopefully by next summer we'll have a prototype.
Mike's parents that was his punishment when he was a child. Vitamin D directly into the butthole.
That's where I got the idea from, brother.
That's why I'm so damn healthy now. So hold on one second here, because I gotta again, every time Manolis talks, I gotta go back to a little something he said. But Manolis, I'm not sure. Are you that whole thing about the butt cheeks and the sun getting into the area where it doesn't normally get to? Are you aware that is actually a thing, or were you just sort of having fun making it up? Because that is actually a thing. It's called.
Things. Go ahead.
You know that?
No. What's it called?
Okay. You know what? The name escapes me, but that little piece of skin that goes from sort of underneath your testicles to your rectum, that piece of skin, I forget what that's called now. But whatever that piece of skin is called, there are people. It's very popular. They go out and they spread their legs, and they get sun. And what they say is that the sunlight hitting that area, because it's such a sensitive area that's never touched the sun, that it is delivering far more vitamin D to their bodies than you would get letting parts of your body that normally get the sun.
Thank you.
So it's an actual thing.
Here's the thing, Patrick. First of all, I heard it was a thing in the last year, but did I not talk about this years ago?
Yeah, you did, actually. Manolis has been pitching this to everyone for like the last 10 years. I swear to God. He's very excited about it.
Not knowing that it became a real thing. That I was right the whole time, even though I just thought
It's called the perineum, and it's called perineum sunning.
Someone probably heard me. Some scientist probably.
Super, like you feel like 100 times better after you've sunned the spot between your bum hole and your.
If you get anybody that gets the D in that area is gonna feel better.
Taint. Oh, one of our viewers just told us taint. Stephen Girardat's watching. He said taint.
It's in Greece they call it
scientific name.
It's not.
In Greece, you know what they call it in Greece? Golotrapidasu. Golotrapidasu. That was the hole in your bum.
That's Manolis' nickname at his family functions.
That's why I know it.
That's how we learn what the word was.
I gotta say that what was making me laugh the most was just watching Jeff's face, Mike, while you were explaining that whole thing. Jeff was like this.
Because I didn't see him look it up.
Oh yeah.
He was like trying to pretend like he doesn't know what it is, and then he just looks off like that.
There it is.
Okay.
No, he's got a Jamie.
Perineum sunning. It's an actual thing, which I wasn't sure if Manolis had heard of it and then was just, sort of riffing on that, or if Manolis actually just made something up that actually turns out to be a thing, which is sometimes happens.
It's so depressing that I'm so ahead of the curve and I'm not making any money from this.
Jeff,
yes.
Aside from having to do this show, yes. Was it a great summer, or was it a bummer of a summer for you, bro?
You know what? Actually, I was having just a fantastic summer. It might have been the best ever until I recently found out that one of my favorite comedy clubs might start serving oysters. And then it just went downhill from there, man.
Yeah, see? None of that, see?
Yeah.
See?
Oysters are me, kid.
Were you like Patrick, Jeff, and got out and did more than usual, or did you just play more video games?
No, I actually was, I got outside. I didn't tan the old butthole necessarily, but
I can help you.
He's got a prototype.
Yeah, no.
It's got stains on it, though.
Oh, yeah. I'll be a guinea pig for that contraption. Why not? But yeah, I was able to get out. It was nice. It was a beautiful, beautiful weather. So I got out walking more than usual, and I wasn't on the road this summer. So it was really nice to kind of take a break.
Well, we're back into it now. We're heading into the fall. Levity Comedy Club is back up and running, and we are thrilled that Jeff Leeson is going to be there this weekend, and we want to encourage everybody to go out and see Jeff. He's a good guy. Thank you so much for doing the show, Jeff. How do we follow you on social media, dude?
Instagram is at Jeff Leeson Comedian, Twitter Jeff Leeson Show, and Facebook Jeff Leeson Comedy.
All right. Please check out Jeff Leeson, our good friend from the Forest City. We appreciate you being here. See? Yeah, see? You're a good man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Manoli, what do you got to say for yourself?
I got a friend. He owns Vintage Soul Geek downtown Hamilton.
Okay.
Great clothing store.
Yeah.
Second vintage clothing. Go there. Buy a shirt. That's it. Buy something. Support local businesses. I don't know.
Patrick Coppolino, what else can we expect? I guess Wednesday night we have amateur night at Levity every week now.
Yes, every Wednesday night. We've had two so far. Both have been packed. So if you can get your tickets online, but they're also available at the door. 2-for-1 wing night Wednesdays, and then we got awesome shows coming up every Friday and Saturday. Go to levitycomedyclub.com to find out who we got, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can join our debates, like whether we should serve oysters or maybe we'll do door prizes with Manolis' prototypes. they're just tongs. He borrows them from our kitchen, but we're working on it.
The kitchen tongs for butthole. Boys, it's been a lovely treat hanging out with you, and I appreciate it. And to those people listening on Funny 820 right now, thank you so much for doing that. I hope you enjoyed the show. And until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days, have an awesome weekend! Woo!